Okay, this video is a quick review of the Declaration of Independence. Remember, this is written by Thomas Jefferson to basically explain the reasons why the colonies are separating from their governing relationship with England. So, the bolded part in the introduction is really the most important part. So Jefferson writes, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with unalienable rights." Unalienable meaning you can't take them away. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it's the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. So let's just break down the bolded part here real quick. So I'm going to activate the pen here. Okay, so the first thing, like life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, we're going to call those natural rights. These are things that are basically not given by man, but in the eyes of Jefferson, given by like a higher power. These are rights that all men should have: are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So they're natural rights. Other thing, this phrase, consent of the governed, that's important. That just basically means that, again, governments only exist because people allow them to exist. Like, we allow governments to exist. We, like, willfully and willingly join governments. So that's consent of the government, or governed. And then another term that we used when we talked about this unit was popular sovereignty. And that's the idea that, like, people have power, and people, again, willingly submit to a government, but that the power comes from the people. That's how the government gets powers, from the people. So all of these things are included. And again, the whole black bold face print is really Locke's social contract theory, which, if you remember, we talked about, is the idea that people give up freedom to join a government so that government can protect them. So you exchange your freedom for following government's rules. But in order to, like, have that deal long term, the government has to protect your life, your liberty, and your pursuit of happiness, not violate them. If the government violates those things, they violate the contract, and you are justified in rebelling against that government and forming another one. So that's really the basis for the Declaration of Independence, right? So that's the significance. Okay. Other key parts. All right, take the pen off here. Other key parts would then be all the statements that begin with the word he. These are all basically lists of grievances. These are examples of how the British government violated the social contract theory. So again, the intro is like, hey, we have a right to revolt if you take away our life, your liberty, and our pursuit of happiness. And these are all the examples of how the British did that. And then the last part is basically the statement of independence. So, like, we could revolt if you broke the social contract. Here are the examples of how you broke the social contract. And then here's our, like, Declaration of Independence. So again, that's just a review of some of the key concepts and vocab related to this foundational document.